Welcome back to the GSL. I'm Tasteless, and with me is Artosis. When we're together, we make Tastosis. It's only been an hour, actually. We're already here halfway through today's games, so that's kind of surprising.
It's really fast, man. Sen Zenith had some clearly unpracticed,
had some appalling games from Sen Zenith.
Yeah.
Actually, I felt a tumor grow inside my brain when I saw that strategy.
It was bad.
That was bad. And, of course, the ZVZs are pretty cool, but just very action-packed. Real slugfest early on.
ZVZ can be very fast. If both players have it stuck in their mind to go Banelings, then the game is fast no matter what.
So that was pretty interesting. But this matchup now should be even more interesting. Why don't you tell us why, Artosis?
Because it's NaDa. Duh. As if you guys didn't know that. That's why you're here. See NaDa, to see Hydra. It's a great day, actually, of matches. I'm very excited.
I know. Each one gets better than the one before it.
I'm actually beginning to wake up a little bit. It's NaDa playing. How can I be excited?
Yeah, let's take a look at the players now. Of course, NaDa, a member of OGS, Spunky's team, very talented team.
Yeah, he destroyed Cargo in the first round. We did watch that from BlizzCon on my laptop.
Yeah.
And it was pretty gross, man. He's NaDa. What do you want? So he destroyed that guy. His achievement is being a StarCraft 1 legend, not just a legend, the legend. I can't even tell you how many pro gamers this guy inspired with his play. Now, against him, ParkjongHyuk. He beat Next Chief 2-0 in the first round. And I cannot remember if we commentated that one or not. We commentated so many games before going over.
No, I don't believe we commentated that one, actually.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
No. But look, I mean, NaDa, this guy is one of these players that since the beginning of StarCraft 1, maybe about 2 years into it, he became a top-tier player. He remained a top-tier player throughout the entire pro gaming scene from start to finish for StarCraft 1.
And here are the maps. Zelnire Caverns, Metalopolis, and Lost Temple. Now, despite what the screen just said about them both being Protoss, they are both Terrans, so this is a TVT. Being the same races means that these maps, for the most part, are not going to make a huge difference in the game. There are some positional advantages you can gain on Lost Temple. You normally want to be in a position where you can drop their ledge very easily. I guess that's the best way to put it.
That's the best way you can put it, man.
That's it.
As you can see, a lot of NaDa fangirls out here showing up to see his game. We did put an electric fence around the booth so they could not get too close to him.
Oh, yes.
And as you can see, this guy's a serious baller.
Oh, yeah. Wherever he goes, fangirls and dead nerds are in his wake.
That's right. Taking out male nerds, picking up female nerds. This guy's really good. I really have so much respect for him. As I was saying before the maps came up on screen, this is a player who has been around from start to finish.
Yes.
I believe he only sank from top 30 on the StarCraft 1 rankings. I think only once, right?
Yeah. No, that was
that's unheard of.
When he hadn't been playing forever. Other than that, he was always within the top 30, which, he's by far the only player that did that. It was like 57 months in a row or something insane like that.
Yeah.
I pulled that number up out of nowhere, but it's something like that.
Yes.
So.
No, I know what you're talking about, though. It was a very long stretch of time. So, it's going to be interesting to see if he has the same consistency in StarCraft 2, especially if that consistency is a high level quite successful.
That guy looks a little bit like NaDa. He also looks a little bit like Hyperdub.
So, of course, ParkjongHyuk knows what he's up against, and it's not going to be an easy game for him. A lot of pro gaming fans out there probably don't want him to win. There are so many NaDa fans out there. We at the GSL are very excited to have him here. Glad to see him switching over to StarCraft 2.
I know, poor ParkjongHyuk.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure very much about this guy, except for the fact that I feel bad for him. He has to play NaDa. This is a lose-lose situation, Tasteless. If he wins, fangirls are going to cry.
Yes.
And if he loses, he's out of the GSL. So
that's right. So,
I mean,
tough situation for
can't go around beating NaDa, man. It's not how it works.
So,
it's NaDa.
It's NaDa, yeah. He's a very, very tough player to play against. NaDa hasn't played as much as some of these other StarCraft 1 pro gamers have with StarCraft 2. So he might not have as much experience in the game, but he will have more experience on stage.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, he will not flinch. He is the golden mouse. He's won 3 OSL titles. What? Yeah.
Who else has done that? What, Jelizerg?
Jelizerg.
And then
I Love Oof,
I believe.
Done that.
And then
did Savior do it? No, Savior didn't do it. And then
Protoss.
Flash, of course. Nope, no
No
Protoss
Protoss?
ever quite did that.
No, I think you're right, actually, yeah.
Oh.
Excuse me. So, that's a big step up.
ParkjongHyuk
Park
needs another minute to set up.
Okay. So we can wait one more minute. We don't want him to not have his settings up there.
No.
All other odds are already against him. We might as well make sure his computer's working.
Yeah.
Of course, in esports, you need to have your mouse settings perfect. You want to make sure you have the keyboard set up, chair height right. The booth has to be the right temperature. I mean, quite serious too.
Yeah, I know.
You can't play.
That's actually one of the most important things.
Yeah.
Is the booth being the right temperature. In fact, these guys normally have their own private heaters and/or air conditioners based upon the season in that booth, so that they can feel very comfortable. Otherwise, your hands just won't move right.
Yeah, you have to have a certain body temperature. I mean, I don't have the scientific number for it, but your body has to be warm enough that there's blood in your hands.
Yeah.
Enough blood so that you don't feel numb at all.
But there is one person that wants to feel cold while he plays.
Who's that? Mr. Freeze?
GSL.
GSL?
Not even joking.
Really?
Everyone else wants it to be warm so that their hands move. GSL wants it to be cold.
Let's get ready for the start of this game. Can NaDa return and be a champion in StarCraft 2? Let's find out in this round of the GSL round of 32. Up here at the top right on Xel'Naga Caverns, in the red, a member of the Team OGS. You know him as?
OGS NaDa.
NaDa. Down here at the bottom left, we have our underdog here playing against the legend. He's called
ParkjongHyuk.
As you guys might have heard in the audience, a lot of his fans showing up there.
Yeah. Well, I guess actually, if you are a new pro gamer and you're about to play NaDa, you have your whole family come, everyone you know from school. You make a little party of it, man. That's what I would do.
That's what I would do, for sure. But of course, if NaDa does lose this, I'm sure the fangirls will be rioting outside the studio, flipping cars over and burning down buildings.
Right.
So
how many fangirls does it take to flip over a car, Tasus?
I don't know.
There's 15.
Okay, I thought it was something.
I wish I had a
very clever
lead-up
button.
joke. You were supposed to just laugh and change the subject.
Oh, I'm
but,
sorry.
I mean, I had no follow-up there, rather. Sorry.
We have no synergy right now.
No, it is what it is, Tasteless.
Here's his barracks being put up. Both of them identical timing, basically. And our first scouting SCV from both these guys also synced up.
That's right. There will be no high five, though, because these guys will go around different sides of the cavern of the Xel'Naga.
Yeah, there you go.
Xel'Naga wall paintings in there.
Oops. Need to change. Keep trying to change these settings. They actually change the settings from what we had before. So I'm not able to grab some of these units as quickly. Here comes the scouting SCV from NaDa.
Now, in TVTs, normally we're going to see a Marine pop out really quick and get rid of this SCV before the real tech roots come into play. You really want to give away as little information as humanly possible because it is a mirror, and I mean, if he knows what you're doing, you're probably going to lose.
Yeah, we did see a lot of Tech Lab openings right away early on in TVT in the beta, but that seems to have kind of died out because so far it seems like you could pretty much defend anything with that first few Marines.
Yeah, that's quite true. Early on in the beta, the Marauder was like the unit. It was very easy to use, and so that simplicity led to exactly what you just said, Tasus. But nowadays, people realize the strength of the Marine, and this is pretty standard what we're seeing so far.
Looks like NaDa wants to control both of the Xel'Naga watchtowers here. Meanwhile, we got SCV coming up here to peek. Marine on the way with him.
Now, something pretty cool. NaDa making a Reaper, as we see on the production tab, and a factory. And I can assure you that factory is not to get Reaper speed, because Reapers in this matchup normally just used to control towers a little bit early, maybe catch an SCV, but most of all, to just scout your opponent's base.
As you can see, NaDa putting a cautionary bunker up here.
Yeah,
he knows he didn't invest in a Reaper, so he wants to make sure he can't be counterattacked.
Exactly. Sometimes you get attacked by 4 Marines and a Hellion. Sometimes if you're playing against Slayer's Boxer, you get attacked by an SCV and 3 Marines.
Yeah, that awkward timing attack by Slayer's Boxer.
Yep.
Not sure if I understand it yet, but
I don't think we ever will.
He's got his own way of seeing the game. Tech Lab out.
And maybe a Starport going to go up there. Take up to Banshee. Yeah, he's got that second gas. Now the Reaper is entering the natural base of ParkjongHyuk, and it's going to jump up and see this command center and probably kill that SCV as well. Bam. Slows that right down. Nice move. And I like ParkjongHyuk's play.
Oh,
look at, and NaDa
mule. Nice.
gets a mule. Very nice. And I love that that depot is up. That is awesome.
Yeah,
we
very
have to give him
nice.
some credit for that. A lot of people just
Right
automatically sink the depots. No reason to sink that one. Leave it up. Trapped that Reaper. Goodbye, Reaper. Now, we are seeing the Barracks Expand build here by ParkjongHyuk. It is probably the most powerful TVT build overall right now. NaDa, though, he's getting Cloak and a Banshee. So he's going to have to do at least some damage. And probably, I think we're going to see NaDa expand behind that. He's not going to want to go all in against this player.
Now, when you get these two builds against each other, it really comes down to how well the Banshee Rusher can execute the attack, how many times he can force a scan, thus causing the other Terran who's fast expanding to waste a mule. That means he can't utilize that expansion in the same way. Also, you know, how many SCVs can the Banshee kill off, of course.
Yep. And now we see that the command center going up for NaDa, and at the same time he's getting a tech lab for his factory, a reactor for his barracks, all very, very standard. He's going to want Marines and tanks mixed in with those Banshees.
Now, I believe he saw the starboard. Let me check here. So he knows he's getting Banshee Rush. The Banshee was there at that moment. So he'll have some small window of time to prepare for this.
That's right. He has scanned up enough energy for one scan right now. NaDa going after some Marauders. Stemmed Marines. That was a early stem. You want to close a little bit more, but he does good damage there to the Banshee. He's going to have to be careful, though. NaDa does have Cloak finished just now, and here he goes. Cloaked up, and if he kills all these Marines, it's going to be bad. And he... Ooh, that did not do as much damage as you would think a NaDa Banshee would.
Yeah, he did at least force a stem, but he should not have bothered trying to engage again. I think that was a little bit of a mistake by him. Also note this depot placement here. And he's making another one here to spot for drops or a Banshee. So he doesn't have too much of an element of surprise. NaDa won't on his side. Oh, that thought stem!
Oh my god! Oh. NaDa in big trouble now. He's lost 2 Banshees, doing almost no damage. ParkjongHyuk, you are good, man.
Yeah, he's actually playing quite well. Quite impressed.
Yeah, NaDa cannot be happy with that result.
And now we see ParkjongHyuk going to go ahead and just at least take a peek over, see if he can counterattack. It probably won't be too effective with these 2 siege tanks in siege mode. The Marauders are in front, so they could absorb the damage, but actually they're already softened up, as you can see here.
Kills an SCV, loses a Marauder. The other one down into the red. Realizes, okay, this is not attack timing. Realistically, he's killed 2 Banshees. He just saw 2 tanks sieged, and he's had his expansion up for a while. Now, this is a little question for everyone out there who's been watching my commentary. What do you do now? Do you make a bunch of units in attack, or do you take another expansion?
What do you do, Artosis?
You take another expansion. You get more ahead instead of trying to kill your opponent, especially when they have defensive units like the siege tank.
Looks like that's what he's going to do as well.
I do hope so. He is killing these destructive rocks. It'll let him take that gold base if he wants.
Yeah, that or this SCV is going AWOL. I thought he was like, oh, he's going to use that to check the Zelnaga watchtower.
Yeah, always important to have that. Now, ParkjongHyuk. Let me see you make a command center. He is adding a starport and a barracks. Getting +1 attack and siege mode.
Guess he's not going to expand right away.
And look at the mini-map. I love this depot rank by ParkjongHyuk.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome. We have depots all over the place, just watching for anything that could come in. And NaDa decides to move out. Just Marines and tanks. He's got to do a very careful push here.
Now, you got to be careful with your siege mode timing. If he sieges up at the wrong time.
There we go, stimming in, and his Marines running around behind each other. Going to do almost no damage there. Now NaDa in a great position. Oh, wow. This is not good for ParkjongHyuk.
Whoa, that take barely getting out of there in time. Oh, this is a big disaster. He was not being patient enough.
That's right. That was not a good engagement. His Marines were not all firing at once. He needs to really spread them out to make sure that happens. But now NaDa looking very good. Has a lot of siege tanks moving up, trying to kill this one siege tank. And will he be able to snipe? Wow. NaDa losing no siege tanks there. Oh, losing his first one.
He's got way too many tanks, though.
Yeah.
There's really not enough to defend over here in this region. Our blue Terran could have possibly defended this, but he chose the wrong time to engage. NaDa is just much cooler under pressure. You see the SCVs coming out here right now. This actually could be GG. G to the G.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be it. G to the G to the what?
No, it's gone. Joke's gone now. Jokes, we'll never know. No, it's okay. We got the command center under fire here. These tanks, as you can see by this line, are in range. Another scanner. He knows exactly how many scans to save up. This tank with 8 HP left, but the command center is at 19. HP is now being healed. More Terran units streaming down here.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a GG pretty quickly, though. I mean, there's really nothing left here.
Uh-oh. There it is, GG. Viking kind of checkmating that command center. Can't land it.
Now, that was actually a rather interesting game. Now, it really looked like ParkjongHyuk was a very high-level player that game. In the early game, he's caught those 2 Banshees, got almost no damage from them, but then he just kind of sat there making a few Marines and Marauders and then tried to jump up his tech really quick as opposed to just working on a ground force, and I think he should have started an expansion there. But when he engaged, I think that was the key part of this game.
No, I think you're totally
he
right.
stemmed from pretty far away, ran up, and half of his Marines just ran around in the back. And when your Marines are running around the back, they aren't doing any damage. You're going to take a lot of splash. He didn't have a whole lot of Marauders in there as well to help take out siege tanks.
Yeah.
It just did not end favorably, but NaDa's attack, very nice. I really like the transition from Banshee into expansion into a bunch of siege tanks and a bunch of Marines. It's just a solid unit combination, and it can either keep you alive if you've messed up, maybe punish your opponent, and that's what NaDa did, man. Very good play by NaDa.
Really impressive play by NaDa. I like how he knows when to stop going Banshees. Some players get stuck. Like, oh no, the 3rd Banshee didn't do any damage. I guess I'll make a 4th and a 5th and a 6th. Also, interesting note about ParkjongHyuk. He does seem to be very inclined to stim right away.
Yeah, he stims very early.
Like that.
You need that stim to last as long as possible in battle.
Yeah.
Literally, you should be hitting stim in like the millisecond before any units start firing.
Yeah, and I think in that last battle he made a little bit of a mistake. Looks like the countdown has started. Let's see if NaDa can beat him the same way he did before on the map Metalopolis. Coming up here in just a minute.